What would Vinny do? Podcast number one, guys. I'm real excited for everybody who helped me put this together. First, I want to welcome and thank anyone watching and listening in. I want to tell you what you could expect from the show, how it came to be. Then I'm going to tell you guys about myself, my journey to kind of get where I am in my life and to where I'm up to now. I'm going to start by saying the show is not solely about real estate. If you're expecting that, I apologize. Of course, there's going to be real estate topics and trends, and because that's a part of my life, and we're going to talk about real estate. But this show is going to focus on all different industries and just people trying to make it happen and hustling. It's going to be so much more than just real estate. It's about people who are going all in to pursue their dreams. And when I say that, I mean working 2 jobs, grinding every day, working on the weekends, like staying up, barely sleeping, to doing whatever it needs to get done to reach those goals that they set for themselves. And the people are passionate about what they're trying to do, and we're going to go through their journey with them, and it's going to be good. It's going to be informative. It's going to be fun. We're going to keep it light, but we're definitely going to add a lot of value to our listeners. And so when I say the people that I'm on are going to be successful or trying to be successful, I know success is different for everyone. For me, when I speak about success and what I mean on the show, I mean personal growth and getting better at whatever it is you do. So whether you're a comedian, a realtor, just trying to make it happen, and that's what it's about. And people's journey and just learning from other people's experience. Maybe you're going through the same thing and you're thinking about stopping, and you listen to the podcast and somebody motivates you and somebody keeps you going. That's what it's for. So and most of these people, I mean, how do you become successful or to the top of your field? Obviously, but a lot of hard work and effort. And there's actually a saying which I recently heard, and it's I'm sure a lot of people know it already. It's everyone wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. I think that's a Marine saying, and I love it. And what it immediately means to me is, when you think of heaven, everybody wants nice things in life, and most people talk about vacations and cars and houses or whatever, free time, taking your kids away, whatever you consider to be heaven. But to achieve those things, it takes a lot of hard work and effort. And a lot of people talk about the first part of it, but they're not willing to actually put in what it takes to get that stuff. And I'm going to have some people on that are willing to do that, and are either in the process of doing it or done it now, and they're at the top of their field and they're trying to stay on the top. And we're gonna just get into their mindset, because I respect that. I was raised around that, and I just love the whole process and the journey and people doing that. You know what I mean? And people who are willing to sacrifice to get what they say. So they're actually putting in the work, like I said. And I want people to understand these are real everyday people that we're talking about. Like, my first guest is going to be someone who I grew up with. He's a friend of mine. He was an IT guy, and he just hustled and made things happen. And it's never too late. So anyone listening now, if you have goals or dreams, just understand that's what the show's about. If you put in the work, it can happen. And we're going to have real people that you're going to hear that are making it happen today, and it's not too late for you. And if you're a younger audience member listening, for you guys, just be patient. Like, you don't have to get frustrated. It's gonna come. So just hang in there. You figure it out. For me, it was a matter of figuring out what I like doing and what I was good at. So when you combine these two things, it can become a very powerful thing, and your work almost seems effortless. And that's what I'm blessed, and I'm grateful that I'm able to work at something where I love to do it. So it doesn't feel like work. And I think a lot of people say that's the secret to life. I mean, doing something you're passionate about. And from my experience on this earth, most times when people are passionate about it, the money will come. Like, that doesn't even have to be the goal. Just be passionate about what you're doing. You're putting in the effort. You love what you're doing. Usually the money comes. So figure out what it is. as you listen to the show, you're going to see a common thread between most of the people. Like I said, from property managers to comedians, it's all people putting in the work, and there's no cheating. There's not going to be no shortcuts. There's no magic. So you get the concept of the show. The show's about the journey. The show's about the hustle, my respect for the hustle. Now I'll tell you a little bit about the name, what would Vinny do, how that came to be. So people who know me growing up, even now, would say I'm slightly a little competitive. I don't really like to lose at too much stuff. I don't know who does or why you would like to lose, but I guess that's another show. So I'm actually upset. I play my son in Madden football, my little guy Nicky, and he does a cheat move where he makes me fumble every time I get the ball, and he beats me, and I'm like, Nick, this is not real football. So you can understand what I'm saying. But then I get him back. I play NBA 2K, and I play with Larry Bird, the 86 Celtics. He plays with Jordan, 98 Jordan, and Bird just lights him up. So we have that going on. Love you, Nick. Taylor, Vinny, my other two lovely kids. Just give a shout out to them. So I'm, besides being slightly competitive, I think for myself, my current manager, one of my jobs with the United States Postal Service, kind of gave me a compliment once. He said, I'm very adept. Like, I can go into a room full of businessmen, suits, and there could be an issue, and I can easily simplify things and make them understand the problem and what we need to do to solve it. And he gave me credit for that. And I took that compliment, and he's a well-established salesman himself. So I try to keep things in the simplest form so everybody understands the solution. To me, that's what sales is. I mean, anybody can sell when everything's going smooth. You're selling a house, you put the house on the market, the buyer comes, a cash deal, sold. It's when you run into these problems that you see if you're a good salesperson. Anybody can do the smooth transaction. I tell my team members that all the time. I kind of pride myself when stuff starts to go. You got to navigate it. You got to kind of get it back on track as quick as you can. So that's why I don't mind sometimes when the market's a little tougher, a market correction, or a tougher landlord. You know, there's a lot of realtors out here. Sometimes they do a couple of transactions and they get a little, what should I say, like a little big-headed, egotistical. You get these guys, on the market 6 seconds and full asking price. Okay. To me, that's really not that impressive. Like, you listed a house and you sold it in 5 minutes. You showed one buyer or two buyers and you accepted an offer. How about I listed a house. I had 6 open houses. I worked at it for 3 months. I marketed the hell out of it. I got 100 people to go. I got 100 people to go in the house, and that's, to me, is impressive. Like, think about the house that you sold for 6 seconds. If you would have just kept it on the market another day, maybe you would have got over asking price. It's not this race. You know what I mean? Obviously, you want to do the deal in a timely manner. Everyone knows that. But 1 day versus 3 days to see if you could get more money, I don't think there's really a rush to close the deal in 6 seconds. But that's just me. So, you know, we're gonna have a lot of that on my show. See, I told you it always goes back to real estate. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna air some stuff out. Any sellers listening to the show, please do your research. I mean, guys, it's, again, I can't stress this enough. It's your most valuable asset in life. Okay, so when I hear someone's gonna sell their house, and I actually cringe when I hear my aunt's a realtor, or my neighbor, or the woman who walks my dogs, or the babysitter's uncle. I mean, it's all well and good, but I just, again, this is a very important transaction in your life, if not the most important. So for me, I'm going to give you a simple test. Whether you live in White Plains, you live in North Carolina, Country Club, New York, if you're thinking about selling your house and you have a realtor in mind, one of these people you just mentioned, and you tell a few people at your school, tell a few people on your block, say, hey, I'm thinking of selling my house and using so-and-so. If they never heard of that person and you're in the area where you're looking to sell, maybe you need to talk to somebody else. and interview a few other realtors. Interview some top realtors in your business before you just say yes. I'm not saying don't give the person you have a connection to a shot. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't blindly give the most important sale of your life to a person because someone knows them or told you they know them. You know what I mean? I don't want you to list your house with me because I live on your block. I mean, I want you to list your house with me because I'm good at what I do, and I'm gonna get you the most money for your house. And my track record speaks for itself, and my knowledge of the Bronx market is uncomparable. I have a full service team from lawyers to inspectors. There haven't been many problems I haven't successfully encountered doing real estate transactions because I've been doing this for so long. And on top of that, my child goes to school with your child, or I was on your son's Little League team. That's the cherry on top of the cake. It just cannot be the whole cake. It just cannot be the whole cake. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's going to be part of the show. So between the competitiveness, the common sense, the problem solving skills, I guess you could call it fast-witted. I like to call myself fast-witted. I know other people don't. They might say sarcastic. I've been known to give some good advice. Again, just keeping things in the simplest form. I actually had a friend of mine who was a realtor who I miss. She just left my company, went to a different company, and of course I wish her all the best success. I think of her as a great realtor. She actually used to call me anytime she had some real estate issues or dilemmas, and she would literally say, I try to think, what would Vinny do? And then she would ask me the question, and I thought it was a cool name. I liked it. What would Vinny do? It was catchy. So that's where the name came from. So you got the concept, you got the name. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey, since we're going to be talking to other people about their journey. I started in the Bronx, born and raised in Pelham Bay. I wouldn't change that. I love it. I dealt with a lot of stuff growing up, a lot of stupid stuff, you could say, some kid, but all kids do stupid things. A lot of sports, a big part of my life. Started out baseball, Little League, and then went on to basketball. It meant a lot. It meant a lot to me. Probably more than it should have. But I have no regrets again. I was all in, and that was probably my first experience with going all in on something. And I'm talking about 10-hour days of playing basketball. No dinner, no schoolwork, just playing basketball. Shoveling snow to play in the winter, like that kind of dedication. Playing with broken fingers, torn rotator cuffs, and shooting with left hand for the whole game. I just wanted to be better than everyone else, so I outworked most people, because that's how you get better than everyone else. And at my peak, I don't know when that was, but it was a while ago. I was probably considered a very good street player. Anyway, for the park type of player, and in basketball, there wasn't too many people who I wouldn't go up against and hold my own, in that confine. So, did I make it to the NBA? Obviously not. Did I ever play in college? No. Could I? I don't know. I'd like to think I could have. Again, though, no regrets. Taught me how to outwork people and just being a step ahead of people, just smarter than them on the court, outworking them. I kind of took that same focus to business and sales, and it's kind of helped me to be successful in sales. So I mean, it's hard to explain, like the how basketball could relate to sales, and how you could take experience from there to sales, but I just took it very seriously. I don't even play now. I was playing into leagues recently, and I don't play because I felt I couldn't really go all in on basketball the way I needed to and still run a successful real estate company and my other job and children. So I didn't want to half commit. I felt I wasn't being true to my team if I would have half committed. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of people say, why can't you just do it for fun and just exercise? I'm just not built that way. For me, the fun part is putting in the work and then waiting at the end. That's what I enjoy. And if you lose, it wasn't fun. For me, I don't know if that's bad sportsmanship. I don't know what that is, but it's how I'm built. and I wouldn't change it. So I can't have half-ass stuff. So that takes me to my business life and just what I want for myself, how I want to grow. So I was raised by old school Italian parents. My dad was broken English. Mom was more American in the speaking sense, but she was old school at heart as far as work ethic and just getting things done. I mean, the things they were able to accomplish together, looking back now, it's just some remarkable stuff. I'm in awe of it. My dad was not at any of my little league games or basketball games. It's all good with me. I'm not one of those people. I didn't need my dad there for me to light you up in basketball, so that's gonna happen either way. So when the kid tries to show off because his father's there, I was gonna light you up whether my father was there or not. That's just how it went. So, but my dad did so much for me and my brother and my sister. I mean, my kids are still benefiting from the work that my father put in. I'm forever grateful. I can only hope I can live to half the same legacy that he did, and my mom. My mom's still with me. My father passed away. 12 years old. He's letting me know I need to work. By letting me know means waking me up, dragging me out of bed, and taking me on these lame job interviews, like at a Taylor. I mean, I can't even tell you, like Reader's Digest. I went to the weirdest job interviews. I think it was kind of like a trick to say, you better find your own job or I'm going to make you work in this insane place. I worked at a Band-Aid factory in New Rochelle, which was some experience, supermarkets, you name it, he had me there. And I kind of knew, like, it wasn't going to be fun staying home if I wasn't working. He kind of instilled that in me. My sister was already working. She was the oldest. My brother was the middle. I was the youngest. My sister was working for Blue Cross Blue Shield, I remember. And my brother kind of knew early he worked in a pizzeria and he knew he wanted to own a pizzeria. So, and of course my father helped him and all of that came to be. He got a pizzeria. I ended up working there. I don't love it. I started taking city tests because when you're raised in an Italian family, and I guess in the Bronx, that's what we were all doing, my friends. You get the phone guy, you get the plumber, you get the mailman, all of that stuff. So I took the post office test. Post office calls me back in about 3 months. And of course, everybody, the benefits, you need to take the job and you're always thinking ahead. I was anyway. I don't know if everyone was, and you're going to have a family, you're going to have kids. So the job with the benefits is always the good job. People tell you how much they got to pay for benefits. So I'm at the post office. Obviously, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be whistling, walking on the route in the sun, playing with kids. It didn't turn out that way. It turned out to actually be very cold in the winter. The routes were really long, a lot of dogs. I kind of felt early the job wasn't for me, but I was still in my 20s, relatively young, knew I wanted to have kids, so I knew I needed the benefits from the beginning. I think I realized early I wasn't going to break the bank working at the post office. I just needed to figure out what that thing I was going to do and going all in on was, So I started messing around with the music business, rapping or hip hop and R&B. Another amazing experience. Meet amazing people. Wrote a lot of songs. I still have. I had some artists. We did shows. We rented out clubs. Did shows. I managed some acts. Talented people. I still remember sitting with my friend, who I'm still friends with today. My friend Frank Guccione, G1. He was an artist. His rap group was called Robbers of the Minds. We were playing NBA Live in my mother's basement. I don't know if you remember that game, but I used to play with the Charlotte Hornets, Glenn Rice, Del Curry, who's actually, for all the young listeners, Steph Curry's dad, and he was a great shooter, if you could imagine. So I played with Glenn Rice. I was probably busting his ass. We were listening to Hot 97. There was a show on Sunday nights called Unsigned Hype, and you would send in your songs, and it was like from 11 to 12. It was an hour. 11:55. And we're like, we didn't make it. And they played our song last. So it was called New York Life. They played it. It was like, was like a movie. We were so excited. We were going crazy. Great moment, wrote some songs with my friend Jerry, JDL, talented songwriter, singer, great performer. My man John Fig, aspiring comedian. We wrote some songs together. We actually did some songs together, which hopefully when I have them on, I'll be able to play for you guys. I thought they were good. See what you think. But it just came to a point where I had children. I wasn't sure if it was gonna happen with the music, tough industry to break into. I had to switch up gears. At some point while I was a carrier, early through the process, I got my real estate license. I took a course on my route. I took a week vacation. I got licensed. You can get licensed in a week. You take your clause, you go down to the state, you pass your test. This was probably 20 years ago. So I get my license. I envision myself kind of like my father, buying properties as he did. Being a landlord was natural for me. I actually remember as a kid going with my dad to collect the rents and eventually doing it myself as he got older. So that was just as important for me as him shooting a ball with me or playing football. Like for me, it actually was more important because I'm not in the NBA, I'm in real estate. So what he did for me, again, forever grateful. I remember me and my cousin, picture this. My father told us we're gonna buy a house. He told us he can get us a house. He showed us the house. I remember the house on Hobart Avenue. It was this old woman Betty's house. He told us he could get us the house for $180. Brick house, corner house. I'm 15 years old. We're with me and my cousin saving money to buy old Betty's house, old lady Betty's house. And he told us if we get $20,000, he would get us the house. So I guess he was going to put in the difference, kind of like he helped my brother. But I mean, just to even have this idea at 15 years old, we went and we bought a safe and we started to save money. Our goal was to save $10,000 each to buy old lady Betty's house, and my father was going to help me. I mean, there's adults today that don't think like that. And my father had me doing this at 15 years old. So again, forever grateful for what was instilled in me. So reality hits, marriage, kids, bills, the same thing everyone goes through in life. So I need to figure things out a lot sooner than later. The children kind of give me a different level of focus. You can misstep when it's just you, but I feel like when you have children, you have to be very precise with your movements because people are counting on you. It's not just about you. And I'm not going to say that when I say misstep, because I don't really use the word failure, because I didn't fail in the music business. I didn't fail when I played basketball and I took it to where I took it, which some people might say is nowhere, right? But I took my experiences from this, from the music business, from basketball, from all these other things, and I just pushed them into sales. And I learned my work ethic from basketball. If I could put that into sales, I'm gonna be pretty good at this. I learned stuff we did in the music business, just building relationships and about business. So no, did I sell hit records? No, but I took stuff from there and incorporate it into my successes now. And that's what this is all about. That's what any successful person's all about. I mean, the guy who invented Kentucky Fried Chicken, at 74 years old, you hear these stories all the time. It's never too late to be successful. You just got to keep it moving. So I started actually working in real estate, a few different companies. I honestly remember one January where I was doing the route. It was one of those tough winters in the Bronx, freezing, snow. So I'm doing the route every day. I'm coming home and I'm showing apartments every night. This is Sunday to Sunday, no days off, full route, show apartments. And when I say show apartments, it could be 2 or 3 apartments, maybe more some nights. So every night, 31 days of January, don't rent one apartment, putting a lot of stress on the family. I'm trying to work really hard. I'm just trying to pay bills, and I'm thinking maybe this is not for me. Again, with the kids, like you got to kind of figure it out quicker than later. When you're younger, that's why I told you at the beginning. When you're younger, be patient. Figure out what you need to try all different things. As you get older, you have to be more precise with your moves. And luckily, so I started doubting myself. I'm like, I'm busting my ass. It's freezing out. I'm working 2 jobs. I didn't close any deals in January. I didn't rent one apartment. I worked 31 days. So I'm like, maybe this isn't for me. February comes and I rent 7 apartments. It was the most ever done by an agent in 1 month time frame. Getting recognition, getting money, of course that helped. Just building confidence in me, and it's kind of from there I kind of started to believe in myself, and I realized, like, not only could I do this, I could do this at a high level. Believe it or not, from renting 7 apartments, who you would think that's nothing, like realtors who sell $1 million houses. For me at the beginning, it was an important step where I realized I can do this, I like this, and I'm gonna do this. So, and a lot of realtors today, they don't want to bother with rentals, or they're too good for rentals. I don't know what it is. For me, it was a perfect foundation, and I would advise all new agents to start there as well. Think about it. If you're coming into the business and you need to make money, if you sell a house your first week you sell a house, you still might not get paid for 2 to 3 months. They got to secure a mortgage. A lot of things have to happen. So why not rent a 2-bedroom apartment and get $1,500 in the middle while you're waiting for that? So for me, I mean, it still does. And the bonus is, if you treat that transaction correctly, both the tenant and landlord will be future house sales and a possible buyer for you, because that's, think about it. 2 years from now, that landlord may want to sell that house, right? Well, the buyer now is looking to buy a house. His family got bigger. Who has the edge on both of those future transactions? You do, the person who rented the apartment. So stop thinking about quick money. Build long-lasting relationships. That is what this is all about. That's in any business. We're in the people business. So do right by people, and things come back to you. So I'm going to fast forward now from 15 years later. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'm still with the United States Postal Service. I now do sales for them as well, which I love. I get to meet entrepreneurs on a daily basis. People that started off in their garages, and now they're in massive warehouses shipping 10,000 packages a day of whatever item they're selling. Maybe they invented it. Sales for the post office, a lot of people don't know what that is. Again, I help people with shipping, all this e-commerce stuff. All you people shopping online, where do you think? I'm the one who helps that package get to your house. I try to do it cheaper and more effectively than the other companies. Marketing, I teach realtors how to market to get more business, how to do mailings, any business. I teach them how to market, marketing and shipping. So, and I tell everyone, amazingly, I am blessed to have 2 jobs that I love. I'm constantly selling both jobs, which helps me. Sometimes I do stuff in one that actually helps me in the other. So it's been an amazing journey. Grateful is an understatement. Happy, content. Am I fully content? Of course not. I'm currently running a successful real estate team at one of the best and largest real estate companies in the world, Keller Williams. Ferrante Realty team, amazing people supporting me, who've been with me since the beginning, since day one, and some who've came on recently and are really helping me to take this to the next level. One of the things I've learned at this company is you can't be success. There's only a certain amount of success you can reach by yourself. You need to have good, supportive people around you, talented people. It's not that easy, but it's a key part of it. So with everyone's help, a lot of hard work and effort, I've been able to be top dual agent in the business. Dual agent meaning full-time job, real estate, top dual agent, which is nice. While working a full-time job at the United States Postal Service, it's definitely nice. I want to be top agent, period. So I got a lot of work to still do, and I'm ready. 2019, it's going to happen. So my first guest is going to be amazing next Thursday. It's my guy, Pete Newbig. I touched on him a little before. He's doing amazing stuff in Houston, Texas, with his company, Empire Industries Property Management. We're going to talk about his journey. I thank everyone for listening and joining in. I'm grateful. I truly hope this show helps listeners and adds value and some entertainment in your life. like our page, subscribe. What would Vinny do? Subscribe to the podcast. It's going to be high quality stuff. And I'm just really excited about it and looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.